How is it going, guys, and welcome back to another video. I am so excited for this one because this has been a long time coming now, and that is a new custom bumper for the Toyota Sequoia. So for the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 months maybe, I've been rocking a bumper cut, which I think looked pretty good. It was just the stock bumper, and we just cut straight across to trim it a little bit. This originally started when I had 35-inch tires. It was a super easy way to create some extra space and prevent any rubbing on that front bumper. But you know, I wanted to eventually move to a fully custom bumper, something that was gonna make the truck look a little bit more complete, and that is exactly what I did. About 2 weeks ago now, I dropped the Sequoia off with Drew from DTA Fabrication. He's a super awesome fabricator located here in Central Oregon, super awesome guy, and he made me a fully custom front bumper for my first gen Toyota Sequoia. We spent a lot of time talking about design plans. I sent him some photos for inspiration, and he absolutely crushed this. The bumper turned out amazing, and today I just want to take some time to show you guys the bumper and kind of break down what Drew over at DTA Fab did, because this turned out so good. So I'm going to turn around here now, and I'm going to show you guys for the first time my new Toyota Sequoia front bumper. So here it is. I will show you guys more pictures and we'll break it down here. But this is the front bumper for my first gen Sequoia. I am so happy with how this turned out. I think it looks awesome. I still need to mount some lights up front. I'll show you guys that here in a sec where the light mounts are. But this is it, guys. This is the new front bumper for my first gen Sequoia. Any of the pre-made bumper options, there aren't a ton out there. The main one I know of is Coastal Off-Road. It just doesn't really fit the style that I was going for with the Sequoia, so I knew I wanted to have something custom done, and Drew at DTA Fab absolutely crushed it. Exactly what I was wanting, exactly how I had imagined it, and I am so happy with this. So this is the front bumper. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about what we did and kind of just break down the overall design and some of the features. Alrighty, well, I want to just start off by taking some time to talk about the design and just giving you guys some more details about the front bumper. So this is a fully custom front bumper built by DTA Fabrication. I just want to keep mentioning his name because he did such an amazing job. And if you are located in the Bend, Central Oregon area, I highly recommend checking him out, checking out his work. He is awesome at what he does. So he made me this front bumper. It's a tube style front bumper, just meaning that it's basically some metal tube that he bent and welded into place. I really wanted to go with kind of the pre-runner style. If you're not familiar with pre-runner, it's kind of a term for some of those desert style race trucks. I thought that looked really cool. I loved how those bumpers look, and I kind of wanted to do something similar with the Sequoia, because Sequoias can be cool too, and I'm trying to prove that. So it's a super high clearance bumper. We have the skid plate here kind of angled down, so there's a lot of ground clearance in the front. In the past, when I had that stock bumper cut, I still had the stock bash bar, and that stuck out a lot farther here and just wasn't as much ground clearance as this new bumper is going to be. Now, I know something a lot of you guys are going to ask about is if I wanted to do a winch, and why I didn't end up doing one. For me personally, I don't do a ton of super hardcore off-roading, and a winch is just, it's more money and more weight. Most of the time I'm sticking to trails, nothing too technical or serious, because I want this build to be more of an overland style instead of a rock crawler. This bumper is fully bolt-on, which is super awesome. I can take it off in just about 5 minutes. It just bolts up to the frame here, to the front frame horns. We got a couple bolts in the front and a couple bolts on the sides. Drew kept this front tube open, so you actually have a bolt in there as well, meaning that you got all 4 factory bolts on both sides of the frame, so this thing is super solid. I know some of you are going to be wondering about this plastic trim piece here in the front. This is called a front valence, and the only reason I really put it on is just for looks. I think it looks awesome, and it adds to that pre-runner trophy truck style. So do I need it? Absolutely not, but I think it looks cool, and that's pretty much the only reason I decided to put it on. Drew welded up some tabs, and we pretty much just through bolted it. That's how it's attached. I think these are called cone washers. That's what we have to attach it. They're super nice. They kind of spread out the weight, and they look super cool too. So just have some all silver chrome hardware, and that kind of matches with the chrome grille and of course the silver wheels on the truck. It looks awesome, but yeah, the front valence here is pretty much just for looks. Now I want to talk about lights and the light mounting setup. I know I don't have any lights on here yet. I've only had the bumper for about a week and a half or so now, but I've definitely planned to add some lights here soon, and that was part of the design when I was working with Drew. So up front here we have 4 light mounts. Originally I was thinking of getting the LP4s, which are super awesome off-road lights, but they come with a very high cost. I forget what it is exactly, but I want to say it's $500 or $600 per light. So it would be about $2,000 for front lights, which is simply not worth it in my opinion. That is a lot of money for some front lights, and I'm not going to be doing any serious off-roading or racing with this truck anytime soon. So I'm still considering a couple other light options, but I definitely plan to throw some lights up here on front. Drew did an awesome job. He made these super cool X cutouts for the light mounts. They look super clean and just add some more style to the front bumper. So definitely excited to throw some lights up here as soon as I figure out which ones I want to go with. I'm pretty sure once I have lights mounted, this bar will still be out just a little bit in front. So in case I ever hit anything off-roading, this front bar here kind of acts as a layer of protection. Of course, they still could get damaged sitting on the front of the truck here, but this is just another layer of protection to hopefully keep them safe, because lighting is expensive if you get nice high quality brands. So the front skid here is just bare aluminum and actually bolts up directly to the bumper. To mount this front skid, Drew welded some tabs and threaded them as well. So these 4 bolts that you see that are holding the skid on actually thread in, which makes it super nice, because while you could just through bolt them with a bolt and a nut, back here there's just not a lot of space, and it would be really hard to try and get a wrench in there to hold it. So the fact that these are threaded makes it super easy to pull that skid off. He also added the DTA Fab logo, which looks awesome, and then just another layer, I think, of aluminum that's painted black to kind of just so it's not an open hole there. So it looks super clean. It just did a great job, and I think that skid plate honestly just completes the look of the bumper. Now I definitely plan to do kind of full skid plates underneath the bottom of the truck eventually, because there is not anything there right now. I definitely want to protect that oil pan and the front differential, especially just for off-roading. So I'll definitely be hitting up Drew again in the future to have him help me work on something like that. One last quick thing I want to talk about and mention here before we wrap it up for today is just gas mileage. Now this was super surprising to me, and as you guys know, as I mentioned earlier, before this custom bumper I had the stock bumper that was cut, and then I had the stock factory kind of crash bar in the front. That was what I had. Now I was definitely expecting, with all of the additional weight of this new front bumper, for a gas mileage decrease, but actually it's been the opposite so far. I've driven it probably 400 or 500 miles since I picked it up, and my gas mileage went from 9.5 to 10 to just around 11 miles per gallon. So I'm seeing about a 1 mile per gallon to 1.5 mile per gallon increase in gas mileage. I don't know exactly why that is. I'm thinking that just with the slant of the skid plate, maybe the air just flows by it a little bit better than just that big flat surface that I had before. I don't know, but this was just super surprising to me, because normally when you put a front bumper on and you add this weight, your gas mileage goes down, but I've actually had the opposite. So cannot complain about that, and makes me like this bumper even more. That was a little breakdown of the new custom front bumper, and that is going to wrap it up for this video. I know this was just a short one today, but I wanted to show off the bumper, show you guys some of the details, and just give a huge thanks to Drew at DTA Fabrication for making this all possible. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support really does help me out. Make sure to drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the front bumper. I'm curious to hear your guys' opinion on this one as well. So thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.